Hey guys, if you got the April newsletter, you saw that we have the District Convention, the 65th District Convention listed in the newsletter. There's a graphic there that gives a lot of the information, the tentative schedule, that sort of thing. But you also notice that there is a link or a QR code that you can scan the QR code with your phone or go to the link. Now, if you got the electronic copy, you can actually click that graphic because it's hyperlinked, and that'll take you to this registration page. But this is what it'll do. So it'll take you to the website. Actually, that link will actually take you to the event page. But if you go to the website and you don't do that, you can either go to the word events, click events right there, see it up there, or you can actually click the graphic that talks about the Southwest Texas District Convention. So it's going to take you to a list of events. If we had other events, they'd be listed here, like ladies, when we have the women's encounter, it'll be on this same page. This is the list of the events. So we'll click the graphic again, which will take us to the event page, the page for that event, which it's the same graphic that you saw in the newsletter, except it doesn't have the QR code or the website. Okay, so this has got more information, but here is the link that you'll click, and click that, and that will take you to Realm. You know, that's where you give your tithes, and that's where you all this kind of stuff. So this is our management system. So you go to this page, and then you'll put your name here. And I am a single finger typer, so well, I do these fingers. All right, so then I'll do my email. All right, then my phone number. And then click next. Okay, here's where I'll enter my password and click, and there we are. We're on the registration page. All right, so it's going to bring your name up if you're already in, which you should already be in there, ministers. If your spouse is tied to your account, their spouse will be there. So I'm going to click Sharon's there. Now this is where it gets tricky. This is where, if you're a pastor of a church, your church will need to pay your assessments before you can vote. And so this is where you can actually prepay your assessments. So we'll go down here to guests, and we'll click 1 there, and it defaults to minister. So you'll clear the minister out and hit the drop down and go down to church assessments. So that's the one for convention. So then we'll say add a guest and put 1 in the field. Take off the minister, hit the drop down, go down to church assessments, and that's Messenger College. All right, one more assessment. So we'll click additional guest, 1, close up the minister, hit the drop down, go down to church assessment youth. So now you have all that information filled in. So go next. So the only thing you'll need to change on this page is because it defaults to minister. So for the church registrations, for the assessments, we've already got those selected. So for Sharon, I'm going to hit the drop down and select spouse because the price is cheaper for a spouse. So look over here in this column. This shows you the cost is $25 for the minister, $15 for the spouse. Then you got $30 for the convention assessment. You've got $25 for the Messenger College and $10 for youth. These are the assessments that are required in our bylaws for you to be able to vote. Every church is required to pay these assessments. Whether they come to the convention or not, they're supposed to pay these assessments. So if you've got all those selected, hit next. This is where you'll choose to pay. Now there's a drop down here that says pay now or pay later, or pay in person. If you would, just go ahead and pay now. That way, because what I'm trying to do is avoid a congregation congregating up in the office, so the registration committee doesn't have all those. And so then I'm going to go in and I'm going to select a card that I've got on file. This is my church's card, and then I'll hit register and pay. That's simple. It'll email you the receipt. You'll have that, so when you come, you can actually check in on your mobile. And I'll do another video on how to check in when we get closer to convention, but that's how you register. And so we can go through and pre-register for convention for us and our spouse. Had there been delegates, where you go down there and you do your church assessments, put 1, and then hit that drop down and put delegate. And so it'll charge for the delegate. So you can just keep 1 additional guest. Now, if you are an intern, on my name, if I would have been an intern when I got there, I'd had to hit the drop down, change it to intern, and then on my spouse's name, hit the drop down and change it to intern spouse. So you can register as a minister's spouse, an intern spouse, a delegate, and you can pay all of your church assessments there. So I tried to make it as easy as possible with this system that we have, so you can take care of ahead of time. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to bring a whole bunch of checks, that sort of thing. Now, again, if you want to, if your church wants to do a convention offering, if you can do that separately under your account, go into your account, and where you'd normally select minister's tithe, just hit the drop down, and there'll be convention offering there. We ask that each church send a convention offering. The fee is to pay for all the administrative things, stuff like that, but we always take an offering because honestly, we hardly ever cover our costs. So we want to be able to cover our costs, and we want to be able to have a really good convention. So I wanted to make this as easy as possible for you guys. Listen, if you got any questions, reach out to me either at the office or you can call me on my cell, either one, and I'll be glad to help you if I can. This is just trying to modernize us and get us where we can do things ahead of time. All right, love you guys, and we will talk to you later.